So right now we're doing 10-2, which is exploring equivalent ratios. So an equivalent ratio, or ratios, are ratios that express the same relationship. You can find equivalent ratios in a multiplication table.
You can use rows and columns in a multiplication table to find equivalent ratios. The terms of the ratio 10 to 15 are in the fives column in the multiplication table.
So you see that they're in the fives column right here in the multiplication table. So what you're going to do is try and get them to lesser terms.
Pairs of numbers to the left of the terms of the original ratio form equivalent ratios with lesser terms. The ratios 8 to 12, 6 to 9, 4 to 6, and 2 to 3 are equivalent to 10 to 15.
So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, hey, 10 and 15 are both multiples of 5. So I know I can take 5 out of these or other numbers that are even. So if I compare 10 to 15 to the left, 8 to 12, 6 to 9, 4 to 6, all will be equivalent ratios, and 2 to 3, because they all will go down to 2/3. They all simplify to 2/3. 10 15ths, 8 12ths, 6 9ths, 4 6ths, all simplify to 2/3.
Pairs of numbers to the right of the terms of the original ratio form equivalent ratios with greater terms. The ratios 12 to 18, 14 to 21, 16 to 24, and 18 to 27 are equivalent to 10 to 15.
So they're saying all these numbers over here to the right are also going to form equivalent ratios.
All of the corresponding multiples in 2 rows or columns form equivalent ratios. Multiplying 2 and 3 by 5 gives the original ratio 10 to 15.
So then you know multiplying 2 by 6 gives you 12, 3 by 6 is 18, 2 by 7 is 14, 3 by 7 is 21. So equivalent ratios are really easy, and it's really helpful to have a multiplication chart nearby.
Use the multiplication table to find ratios equivalent to 12 to 16. Find 3 ratios with lesser terms and 3 ratios with greater terms.
So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to circle or put a square around 12 16ths. Okay, so I know that these are both multiples of 4. Okay, so when I go through, I know that anything to the left will be lesser terms. So I'm going to go ahead and write L for lesser. I know that I could have 3 to 4. I know that I could have 6 to 8. And I know that I could have 9 to 12. Okay, because 3 to 4, 6 to 8, 9 to 12, they're all in the same rows as 12 to 16. Well, greater than, because they wanted 3 greater, would all be to the right of that number. Okay, so I know 15 to 20 could be 1. Okay, 18 to 24 could be 1. I know that 21 to 28 could be 1. And I know that 24 to 32 could be 1. So these are all equivalent ratios to 12 16ths. Go ahead and put those in your notes. Press pause if you need to.
Use the multiplication table to find ratios equivalent to 24 to 28. Find one ratio with lower terms and one ratio with greater terms.
Go ahead and do this in your notes. Now you're going to notice this is a little bit different of a setup, but it will still work the same way. Okay, so go ahead and do this in your notes.
equivalent ratios.
Okay, so I know that we're looking at 21 to 24. Well, I need to complete this multiplication chart first. So I know that 5 times 4 is 20. So go ahead and fill this out with me. 5 times 6 will be 30. 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. Oops. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. And 6 times 7 is 42. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is going to be 40. 8 times 6 is 48. And 8 times 7 is 56. So go ahead and put that in your notes. So they want us to find equivalent ratios of 21 to 24. So I need to go through and find, okay, well, where is 21 to 24? Okay, so I have 21 will be 7 times 3, and 24, which is right here, okay, is equivalent to, well, I need to go through and find, well, 49 would be my first number. So I'm moving from the 3 columns to the 7 columns. That box needs to have 56 inside of it. Now, I'm going to go to 15 to 21. Well, if I have 15 and 21, I know I'm in the 3's columns, and they know it's going to be equal to blank to 49. Well, 49's here, so if I move up, this box needs to have 35 in it. Okay, because 15 and 35 will be in the same row, right? 15, 35, they're both have factors of 5. And then 21 and 49 are in the same row. They have factors of 7. When I look down here, I have 15 as my first number to 25. So I like to draw a little arc here. 15 to 25 is equal to blank to 35. Well, I need to find 35, which is right here. Okay, and it looks like they're going to use factors of 7. So I know that that first number must be 21. Or sorry, that second number in the pairing. So 15 to 25, and then 21 to 35.
You don't have to fill in the entire multiplication table to find the pattern. Equivalent ratios are found in certain positions in the multiplication table. So you just need to figure out the correct spots. Speaking of spots, check out the new shirt. Nice, huh? All right. Can't believe you guys made me wear this. I look like a walking dot graph. Maybe I should just walk on the way I came in.
So let's go ahead and try this.
Complete the equivalent ratios.
Go ahead and fill out the box. So 7 times 2 is 14. Go ahead and fill out 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 8 times 4, and 9 times 4. Okay, and remember, I know right now that 28 and 36 will be in the same line. So now we need to find 18 in some number. So what will go in that box? Here are your choices. When you're done, go ahead and move on to part 3 with me.
In one class, 3 of every 8 students have braces. There are 32 students in the class. How many of the students have braces?
You can use the ratio to find information about the entire class. You can use information about the class to make a prediction about the entire school. I have a prediction. I predict I'll disappear in 3, 2, 1. See, I told you I'd leave. Unless I'm still here. Am I still here?
So looking at this, we know right now that 3 out of every 8 students has braces. Well, they want to know that if there are 32 total students in a room, how many of those students can we expect to have braces? So just like fractions, if you do something to one number, you're going to have to do it to the other number also. So if I go from 8 to 32, you can look at a multiplication chart, okay? These both have factors of 8, But 8 times what number is equivalent to 32? Well, I know that 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. So it has to be times 4. I get to 32 by 8 times 4. So if I times by 4 here, I need to times by 4 here. Well, what's 3 times 4? 3 times 4 is 12. So I should expect 12 students to have braces. Again, here's another way to look at the situation. Use a multiplication table to find equivalent ratios. The ratio 12 to 32 is equivalent to 3 to 8. So 12 to 32 in simplest form is 3 to 8. The given ratio of the number of students with braces to the number of students is 3 to 8. Look for an equivalent ratio that has 32 as its second term. So 12 of the students in the class will wear braces.
In the same class of 32 students, 1 of every 4 students wears glasses. How many of the students wear glasses?
So I know right now that 1 to every 4 students wear glasses. So if I have 32 students in the class, how many students will wear glasses? Go ahead and show your math, check your work, and when you are done, you're done with your homework today.